Alright, so first off we have to make pizza dough. Now you can use the store-bought refrigerated stuff, but the easiest way to make it at home is Jim Leahy's overnight no-knead method. We're going to start by measuring out 500 grams of bread flour, 16 grams of kosher salt, and 1 gram or a quarter teaspoon of active dry yeast. We're then going to whisk those together, make sure that they are thoroughly combined, before adding 350 milliliters or 350 grams if you still got your bowl on the scale of water. Use a wooden spoon to roughly combine into a shaggy dough. This should only take a few minutes, and don't worry about how messy it gets. Once it just barely comes together and no big clumps of dry flour remain, simply cover with plastic wrap and let sit at room temperature for 18 to 24 hours. That's it. In the meantime, we're going to make a simple pizza sauce. Start by bringing some extra virgin olive oil to a shimmer over medium heat, adding some roughly chopped garlic and sauteing for 1 minute or until fragrant. Add some red pepper flake, let that mingle with the garlic for another 10 or 15 seconds before adding a 28-ounce can of whole San Marzano tomatoes. Give this a good stir and start breaking up the tomatoes a little bit, but you don't have to worry about it too much because we're going to puree this sauce. And for that sort of New York pizza parlor flavor, we're going to add a little bit of dried onion powder and a little bit of dried oregano. Stir a little bit to combine and let this guy simmer gently over medium-low heat for about 30 to 45 minutes, just to let these flavors get to know each other. Then we're going to simply dump our sauce into a blender and puree for just 10 or 15 seconds. We just want to break up the major tomato solids and make something nice and smooth that we can spread on our pizza. Speaking of which, it's dough time. We're going to start by generously flouring our work surface and then retrieving our pizza dough, which you can see has both grown in size and become uniform in texture. The slow overnight ferment is also going to make for better flavor and browning down the line. We're going to divide our dough into 4 pieces, that's 4 pizzas. Cover the other ones with plastic wrap while we work with our first ball of dough. We're going to evenly coat it in flour and start gently patting it down into the general shape of a pizza. Don't worry too much about getting it perfectly round, and don't roll it out with a rolling pin. We're just sort of gently coaxing, suggesting what shape this dough. Should result in. Now we're going to pick it up and using our knuckles, passing it knuckle over knuckle, stretch it out into a larger and larger pizza pie. Accidentally drop it down on the countertop, stretch it back out, make some final corrections. Just sort of get it generally into the shape that you want. We're going to have one more chance to make revisions before we throw this guy in the oven. First, we need to dust our pizza peel with cornmeal or semolina flour. This is going to act like little ball bearings to help the pizza slide off easily into our waiting 500-degree oven that we've been preheating for at least an hour. And now, you guessed it, it's sauce time. We're going to ladle a few ladlefuls of sauce onto our pizza, one at a time, spreading them out, getting it all the way to the edge. The placement of the sauce and the cheese are really what are going to determine the shape and size of our crust. And now we're topping with some shredded low-moisture mozzarella, not pre-shredded. That stuff is coated in potato starch and will result in the nasty unmelted pieces of cheese that you might